I'm coming at y'all with day two and the final day of the Stefan Diz assault trial. Shout out to the Associated Press. Let's get it.
If we look at the heritage of our portfolio, the FSW is known as being probably the best team. Janelle Sells.
Hopefully, y'all can hear it.
Watch your step, you're going to remain standing, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Please set us stand wherever you are. Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name?
Janelle Salas.
And I apologize.
Yes.
That's not my audio, and that's theirs.
Maryland.
What do you do for a living, Miss Salas?
I am the Chief of Staff to Mr. Diggs.
You say Mr. Diggs, is that Stefan Diggs?
Correct.
How long have you been Mr. Diggs' Chief of Staff?
Since July 2023.
And what are your responsibilities? What do you do day to day as his Chief of Staff?
I manage all the moving parts. It also varies between during the season or off season. Calendar management, vendor management, and I'm pretty much the liaison between his marketing and talent agency. If I
Oh, hold on, y'all.
see if I need to speak to finance, anything that comes up with his agent, anything personal, family related.
Sounds like quite a bit there. Okay. You said it varies by whether it's in the off season or the season. What does that mean?
So during the season, the calendar is pretty much structured for about 20 weeks, depending how long it goes, from camp all the way until the end of the season. So there's a strict schedule day to day, pretty much from 7 to 6 p.m. And then off season, it varies between training, traveling, and other business commitments.
Okay. And so you've been saying season and off season. Fair to say Mr. Diggs is a professional football player?
Correct.
And so that would be the football season?
Correct.
You said that in the off season, in the regular season, there is kind of schedules that you have to liaise with the team on, correct?
Correct.
Right. In the off season, it's more schedule that you and Mr. Diggs can set then?
Correct.
When is the football season? What time of year?
Preseason, I would say July. So that's when we start preparing for camp. And then it starts, the actual NFL preseason is August. And then the official NFL season begins in September.
Okay. And when does it end?
If you go all the way through January and February.
Right. So December is during the
season.
NFL season?
Regular season.
Regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Among the things I think you just mentioned that you have to kind of arrange is living arrangements, places to live.
Correct.
Right. And have you lived in different places, or have you helped kind of secure housing over different places?
Yes.
And where's that been the last few years?
When I first started with him, it was between Buffalo, Houston, Miami, and then as of the past season, Dedham, Massachusetts.
All right. How did that house in Dedham, Massachusetts come to be the place where Mr. Diggs lived? I got
connected with a realtor through a mutual business associate, and he found this open home for rent because the goal is to rent a home. And so they found this space, and we looked at it. We did the walkthrough, and it was pretty much the only one that was really available in the area because it was super limited. and it fit
Let me
the
just stop you there. I'm sorry. So,
Okay.
I, you were involved essentially in setting up that house.
Correct.
All right. I want to talk to you for a moment as well about other employees, contractors, those types of things.
Okay.
Are you involved at all in hiring or kind of arranging different services?
Yes.
Right. And so, what would those be, generally speaking?
During the season, it would be his wellness and maintenance schedule. So it's massage therapists, nurses for his IV therapy, hair, nails, esthetician. He just pretty much did regular maintenance on his body to just keep him going throughout the season.
Okay. And in terms of any other employees, if you had to try to, arrange for flights,
Yes.
drivers?
Correct.
What about a chef?
This past one, we were just familiar. He was friends with her.
All right. Let me go back before.
Mm-hmm.
Have you hired chefs before?
Correct. Yes, I have.
All right.
Yes.
In terms of just kind of the process of hiring drivers, chefs, masseuses, anybody else, is there a normal process for engaging someone for their services?
We vet them out. I typically I ask someone that was already a trusted resource, and I vet them out through them. We get paperwork, we come to agreements to terms. Sometimes they have a contract, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have an NDA, sometimes they don't. It really is dependent on the relationship. And also, especially if they're new, they get the full-on package, basically. NDA,
All the paperwork you just
W-9, correct.
Okay. So you mentioned you didn't have paperwork for the most recent chef. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
And what's that person's name?
Mila
Do you know Mila's last name?
Adams,
All right. When did Mila Adams start working as the chef?
July of 2025.
Time checking account in 2 minutes. We'll spot you up to $200. Apply now.
July of 2025.
Where did she work?
In Dedham at the house.
Right. Did she live in the house as well?
Correct.
Who were the other people who spent time in that house and or lived in it?
Spent time in it. I spent time in it when I would visit for games. His brother visited, one of his childhood best friends, photographer, videographer, mom. Many friends that would come in.
Okay. Were there kind of permanent or assigned bedrooms in that house?
There was a general understanding of
Hey,
which
18.
room, who stayed in which room, and pretty much if you got there, it's like first come, first serve. So there was only just 2 assigned rooms.
Right. Did Mr. Diggs have an assigned room?
Correct, he did.
And where was that?
It was the main primary bedroom. When you walk upstairs, there's the first immediate bedroom. There's a landing and a laundry room, and it's the first immediate bedroom to your right.
All right. You just walked us in the house there for a moment. Could you just describe what the layout of the downstairs looks like?
So generally, there's a big grand foyer. When you walk into the house from the front door, there's a formal living room. To the right, when you walk up, it's about 2 steps.
Okay.
There's a formal dining room on the right. And then you walk up, it's an open concept, so it's an open living room and an open kitchen to the front of you. To the left of that is the stairs going upstairs to the 4 bedrooms, and then there's a stairs that go downstairs, right underneath the stairs that go up to 2 bedrooms in the basement.
Did Miss Adams have a room in that house?
She did.
Where was that?
So when you walk upstairs to the landing part, to the 3rd floor, you walk up the second flight of stairs, which is about 4 or 5 steps. There's a bedroom to the right, And then there's 2 bedrooms to the left. She lived, her room was the last bedroom all the way down the hallway on the left side.
I think you just described that this was an open set.
Yes, it's open. So it basically looked like there was a bridge, like a U bridge from the upstairs looking down, because the middle of the house, you can look down and you can see everything. And you can look up and you can see the hallways of both going into all 3 bedrooms.
Understood. So, different people at the house. Did you have a key?
I had a key to the front door.
Okay. Were there any other security systems set up at the house other than just locks?
The garage, and then doors for like her bedroom and his bedroom.
Okay. And then is that...
And his closets.
All right. Any other measures on the house?
Garage door. I know there was a ring camera system, an alarm system, but other than that, nothing out of the ordinary.
Got it. So I want to direct your attention to December 2nd.
Okay.
You working that day?
Yes.
Where were you?
I was at the house. It was the day after the Monday night football game, and I had a hair appointment because we were getting ready to leave for a trip.
Where were you going?
Miami, Florida.
Who was going to Miami, Florida?
Miami trip consisted of Mr. Diggs, myself, his brother, his childhood best friend, and another close friend of his.
Who had made the arrangements to get that group of people to Miami?
Me.
When did you start making those arrangements?
The week prior, once we figured out the logistics.
I'll be back in a second.
I typically try to do things a few days prior just because of the requirements that some of the travel vendors need from us, and because it's such a busy week, so I try to book as soon as possible.
All right. What was going on in Miami?
He had Art Basel, which is a art festival, art fair, and he was showcasing he was debuting his furniture line.
Right, so Mr. Diggs has a furniture line?
Correct.
That week, was he not working? Did you miss the game? What was happening?
So Monday night, he had the Monday night football game, and it was going into his bye week.
What's a bye week?
Bye week is pretty much the 1 week that the NFL gives to players where they're pretty much off. They just have to report back on the scheduled day that it's typically like 4 or 5 days off, no meetings. They can go on vacation. They come back that Monday.
All right.
Regular scheduled programming.
And the plan was to go to the Art Basel?
Correct.
It's called?
Correct, yes.
In Miami during the bye week?
Yes.
Anything else going on in Miami?
We were also celebrating his birthday,
What day is his birthday?
November 29th.
Right. So his birthday had already come and gone, correct?
Yes.
Right. Was there a birthday party that week?
They were at his house or in Miami?
In Miami, I mean.
In Miami, correct, there was.
I look for something that makes me feel bold. If that's the color, if that's the fabric, every day is different.
Perfect suit, I think number one is to have a nice structured shoulder. The break's nice on the leg. That's what makes a good suit for me.
Show up in style.
Turn heads.
Make it yours
Dress.
to express.
To be number one. Not just once, but for 2 decades. More than the record, it's about our 20 years of learning what makes your heart race. And we're just getting started. With Vision AI, we are redefining what TV can do. Answering your passions, Samsung Vision AI.
You mentioned that there was a game the night before. What time's the Monday night game start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock p.m.? So you know when it ends?
Probably midnight, and we probably didn't get out of there until like 2 a.m.,
Got it.
maybe 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
So that morning you said you were getting a hair appointment?
Mm-hmm.
Where was that?
It was at the Dry Bar in Chestnut Hill, and my appointment was at 10 a.m.
How did you get there?
I drove.
Do you have a car?
No,
Whose car did you drive?
I drove Mr. Diggs' car.
Got it. And how long did that take you to get to the hair appointment, if you remember?
About 30, 35 minutes because of traffic and the weather.
You mentioned that there was a Ring video system. I'm going to ask you to take a look at a video that is on Exhibit 11.
Council, do you need a minute? Because I can take morning recess now, if that's helpful. That's okay, whatever. All right, let's do this. Let's give you, oh, wait, here we go.
Here we go. Yes, if we could play that. For the record, that's a video ending in the number 602. Do you recognize what we just saw there?
Yes, that's Mr. Diggs' payback.
Okay. What's happening then?
He left for work.
Where were you?
I was in the car, probably waiting to leave and just warming up the car to go.
Okay. You weren't in that car that was just
No,
drive up.
I was
correct?
in his Porsche.
I'm happy to continue, Judge, but we have a while further, so it might make
No,
sense.
that's fine. Why don't we take, George, why don't we take the morning recess? I think there should be some coffee back here for you for a moment, all right? All right.
All rise, jurors can step down this way, please.
Hopefully, you guys can hear it.
Good. All right. This one goes back in safety, maybe, sis. Let me resume, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Salas, we just watched a video off of Exhibit 11. I think you said that was Mr. Diggs going to work.
Correct.
What kind of car was that?
A Maybach.
Okay. You said you were in a Porsche warming the car up?
Correct.
I'm going to ask you to, first I'm going to ask Ms. Silva to play a video there ending in 610. I ask you to watch that, Ms. Salas. Get a look at Ms. Salas. If I can pause it right there real quick. All right, so do you recognize what that video depicts?
Yes.
What's that?
It's the Porsche leaving the house.
Who's driving?
Me.
That's you leaving the house?
Yes.
All right. And if I could direct your attention here, the time on the agenda is 9:26 Eastern Standard Time on December 2nd, 2025.
Correct.
Does that sound about right for when you left the house that morning?
Yes. Because my appointment is at 10 a.m.
Okay. So looking at that image, can you tell us, kind of just orient us on what we're looking at there?
The car, so that's the front of the house, and there's a long driveway that goes towards the back of the house to a 3-car garage, and a driveway where you can probably fit maybe 2 or 3 more cars in the actual plot in front of the garage.
All right. Is there a way to enter the house through the garage?
Yes, there's an entry door going straight into the grand foyer of the house. There's a basement entry, stairwell, a powder room on the right, the entry stairwell to the basement to the left, and when you walk straight, there's a grand foyer. In front of you is the dining room, and then the formal living room, and then to the left is the living room and the kitchen,
Okay.
and the stairwell going up to the third floor.
Going upstairs.
Yes.
All right. And so, did you go to the garage to drive the Porsche out that morning?
Yes.
Do you remember getting back to the house?
Yes.
Do you remember what time that was?
It was in the afternoon after I had ran my errands from my hair appointment.
Okay. What I would ask is if Miss Silva could play a video.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get that. Our flexible, affordable, self-paced college life.
Miss Silva could play a video with the last three numbers 637 off of that same exhibit 11. If we could maybe replay that one more time, it's only about 3 seconds. All right, so do you recognize what that depicts?
Yes, it's the car returning home.
Is that you driving the car?
Yes.
The timestamp on that indicates it's 12:59:59 Eastern Standard Time. So it's just about 1 p.m. Is that consistent with your recollection when you
Yes.
come home?
Yes.
What were you doing that day after you got your hair done?
I was coordinating our travels because I was getting updates from the airport regarding the change of airports, change of planes, and trying to just get everybody together to be ready to leave by the end of the night.
So you were working.
Correct.
And was there an area where you worked in the house?
In the kitchen, in the small little dining table, like in between the kitchen and the living room.
Okay. I'm going to ask Ms. Silva to play one more video for us. That's going to be 183725 on exhibit 11. We could try to play that one more time. So it looks like she's paused it here, a second into the frame. Do you recognize what's depicted in this video?
It's the Maybach coming home.
All right, is that Mr. Diggs?
Yes.
The timestamp on that looks like it says 15:38:51. Maybe 3:39:40 p.m.
Yes.
Is that consistent with your recollection? of
Yes. Yes.
You said you were working in the afternoon. Do you know where Mr. Diggs went in the house?
He likely went to say hi to his brothers and then went straight upstairs to take a nap because it's the day after a game.
Objection. Do you? Where were you sitting?
I was probably walking around the house, either the kitchen, probably going up and down to the basement because I was probably doing laundry, just running around the house. Sustained response to strict
So let me ask you. You mentioned that you remembered doing something with flights and getting to the airport.
Correct.
What is that? What do you mean?
So, because one of the airports that we usually travel frequently at, the Norwood Airport, there's limitations on the planes, and especially if the weather is bad, they typically recommend that we fly into another airport, which was Bedford.
Bedford, Massachusetts.
Correct.
So, is that to say the weather was not great?
Correct.
December 2nd?
Correct.
That day,
Mm-hmm.
when you're making these phone calls, sending emails, doing whatever work you're doing to coordinate, you said you were downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see anybody else walking around downstairs during that afternoon?
Mila was there, his brother was there, and his childhood best friend, and another friend was also arriving in, who had flown in to go to Miami with us.
Okay. You said Mila was there. Did you see her that afternoon?
Yes.
What did she look like?
She looked like she was going to work out. She had workout clothes on. She complimented on my hair. Just regular, just walking around the kitchen, probably around the house. Nothing out of the usual.
Okay. That afternoon, did you? Was that the only time you saw Miss Adams? Did you see her again as the
Towards
went
the
on?
in the evening, closer to the evening.
Till after dark.
Yes, it was because it was getting dark at like 3 o'clock in at that time. So by like 3:30, 4 o'clock, maybe closer to 4:30, it was like dark.
Okay. So sometime after that, you think you saw Miss Adams again?
Yes, because I was sitting in the kitchen and she had asked me if I purchased her flight.
The flight, was that a flight to Atlanta?
Correct.
And when you spoke to her that afternoon in the kitchen, did you observe anything on her face?
No.
Anything on her neck?
No.
boy.
Did you see redness or swelling?
They cut down the
Crying
dishes,
at
so
all?
you did
No.
it right though.
The guy's a multimillionaire. Sorry, I was muted. The best you can do for a multimillionaire is a hot dog or a pig in a blanket. Pathetic. Pathetic, pathetic, pathetic.
That, but it was kind of, it just looked dried up.
Okay. That night, did you all leave for Miami?
Yes.
Then they have one moment. I just want to recap on one issue.
Okay.
I think you said Ms. Adams complimented your hair. Did she tell you anything else?
No. She was like, "Oh, your hair's getting long and it looks good." I was like, "Thank you."
Okay. Did she tell you she was assaulted,
No.
strangled?
No.
You're the chief of staff?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Oh, we're not here.
Thank you. Good morning. And it's Sonny?
Yes, that's. I managed his household, but it was part-time
Where?
in Maryland.
And how long did you do that?
September 2022 up until July 2023.
And prior to working with Mr. Diggs, what did you do?
I have been an independent consultant. I have been a project manager, event producer, and I consulted for companies for almost between, at that time, since 2017.
And right now, how much do you get paid by Mr. Diggs?
I would say between 90 to 100,000 a year.
And when you were, what was the term that you previously job? The house manager?
Yes.
Oh, how much did you get paid when you did that?
I was on retainer for 5,000 a month.
For 4.5 billion years, Earth has never once stopped recycling.
Retainer for 5,000 a month.
And you mentioned you went to Art Basel?
Correct.
And how long was that?
That was from, we got there Tuesday evening up until the events were all the way through the weekend that Sunday.
And what kind of events were there?
There was a showcase of his furniture line, his birthday party, just, showcasing his new furniture line.
But, so you went to these events?
Yes.
And did you have to pay for any of these events?
No. Like physically? Like my own money?
Yeah.
No.
And did you have food there?
Yes.
Did you have to pay for your food?
Not with my own money.
So,
With my company card.
okay, so.
Yes.
Thank you. You mentioned driving one of his cars. What car was that?
It was his Porsche.
Is it a nice car?
Yes.
How often do you drive that one?
If I need to go run errands, if I need to do something, I will use the car as an insured driver.
And when you say run errands, is that personal errands or errands for Mr. Diggs?
Both.
Okay. How often do you go on trips of the staff?
As needed, specifically for business trips, more so.
Okay. On December 2nd, you were at least at some point in the house, right?
Correct.
And you saw Ms. Adams?
Yes.
So she was there in the house?
Yes.
And you saw Mr. Diggs?
Yes.
So he was there in the house?
Yes.
Did you, was there any time that day where, were you following Mr. Diggs the whole time?
No.
Were you following Ms. Adams the whole time?
No.
So there were a time when both of them were outside of your range of being able to see?
Yes.
Had you been to Ms. Adams' room before?
Not all the way inside, but I knew which room she was in.
So you had not been inside. That day you were not in that room?
No.
Okay, so whatever could have happened in that room, you were unaware of anything that could have happened in that room?
Correct.
Sustained in that room.
Is it fair to say that you have a financial interest in Mr. Diggs doing well?
What does that mean?
If he does well, do you do well?
I think we collectively do well.
Do you?
Yeah, even outside of financially.
Is he a good boss?
Yes, he's great.
Do you want to continue working for him?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Anything else?
For your witness.
I just have one question for you.
Yes.
You mentioned that you got to drive the Porsche.
Yes.
Right. Would you lie under oath to get to drive the Porsche and work for Mr. Diggs?
What does that mean?
It's part of lying under oath, your job.
What? I'm sorry. Can you...
Is your job to lie, or would you be truthful?
I'll be truthful.
Okay. Who else got to drive that car?
Mila. And anyone around the house, if they needed to use the car, they would drive it.
Did you see Mila drive that car?
I've seen her drive the car before.
I have any other questions.
Anything else?
When you said just other people around the house, about how many people does Mr. Diggs have working for him?
Employed, one.
So then otherwise they're all just contract, or?
Correct.
Do you know about how many?
Depending on the job. As needed.
Okay, do you know in this...
Objection, Your Honor. We're now outside the scope of the redirect.
I couldn't give that to you on the top of my head.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Defense calls Juliana Stratani.
She wants us to remain standing in face of the court.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
You can understand.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name for the jury?
My name is Juliana Stratoti, Stratoti.
Are you from Massachusetts?
Yes.
What do you do for work?
I'm a registered nurse.
Where do you work?
Full-time I work at Mass General Hospital, and then I have a side, a per diem job at the Drip Bar.
What is the Drip Bar?
Drip Bar is a wellness and hydration service. It's a franchise, but we have a location in Foxborough.
So what do you do as a nurse for the Drip Bar?
Provide like wellness services, hydration, like extra therapy for people that you don't get prescribed, like at a hospital or through your primary care physician.
Does some of that involve making house calls?
Yes.
On December 2nd, 2025, did you do some kind of treatment, a house call that afternoon?
I did.
And where was that?
At Mr. Diggs' house.
Right. And had you been to that house previously?
I had.
And that was at 7 Schoolmaster Street in Dedham, fair to
Yes.
say? Do you remember what time you got there?
Most of my appointments were 4, 5, or 6 o'clock. I think that day I got there at about 5 o'clock.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
And of course, image in front of you, I'm going to ask you to take a look at that and tell me if you recognize that.
That's me ringing at the front door on the Ring camera.
All right. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of you arriving at the house?
That's me leaving, leaving the house on the ring camera footage.
Is that a very accurate depiction of you walking out of that house in the afternoon of December 2nd, 2025?
Yes.
I would vote you admit.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You saw number 13. I'm going to put Exhibit 12 back in front of you and ask you, there's a timestamp at the bottom right corner.
Your Honor, maybe we can see the sidebar.
Yes.
Call's objection
Is sustained.
A moment ago, I think you described when your appointments routinely were. Do you recall what time you got to the house in Dedham that afternoon, December 2nd?
That day I got there at 4:50
Okay. PM?
p.m.
And do you remember when you left the house?
According to the ring camera footage, it was,
Let me ask you this. Do you remember when you left the house?
I don't remember exactly the time, but all of my appointments were roughly 45 minutes to an hour long.
All right. And so on December 2nd, 2025, do you think, how long do you think you were in the house?
Probably about an hour.
Where did it actually occur physically inside the house?
In the living room.
So then fair to say you were in that house that afternoon for about an hour, maybe a little less?
Yes.
Okay. Anything out of the ordinary that day?
Not that I
Hear
recall.
anything unusual?
No.
Did you see anything unusual?
No.
I have no further questions.
Matt?
Yes.
Good morning still. Had you gone to Mr. Diggs' house prior to this day?
I had
And how many times have you done this?
a handful of times. I think before that was 2 or 3. After that was a couple.
And without you saying the actual names of any of your clients, what kind of clientele do you have with this job?
It depends on what services they're looking for. So kind of all across the board.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Please step down.
Thank you.
County Defense Call Stephanie Anastasi.
Just watch your step. If you can just remain standing.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Instead of standing, which
Morning.
Good morning.
Can you state your name and spell your last name for the record, please?
My first name is Stephanie. My last name is Anastasi, Anastassi.
And do you live in Massachusetts, Ms. Anastasi?
I currently live in Rhode Island.
Where do you work?
I work in Massachusetts.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a massage therapist.
Are you employed in that work?
Yes.
Who do you work for?
The Right Touch Day Spa in Attleboro, Mass.
And you provide massage therapy treatment to clients? Is that
Yes.
right? And as part of your work, do you need to visit clients in their home?
I do that separately on my own, on the side. It doesn't have anything to do with where I work currently.
Okay, all right. And as part of your work treating clients, are some of your clients professional athletes?
Yes, sometimes.
All right. And was one of your clients in December of 2025, Mr. Dix?
Yes.
All right. And how did it come about that you were providing treatment for Mr. Dix?
I used to work for the Celtics back in 2019, and whoever I used to work for, he's a physical therapist, he connected me with Mr. Diggs.
Okay, thank you. And you would provide massage therapy for Mr. Diggs at his home?
Correct.
About how often per week would you do that?
Twice a week.
All right. And where in the home would you provide that treatment?
Sometimes it was in the living room area, and sometimes it was in his bedroom.
Did you need any special equipment to provide your treatment?
He provided that. I do need some special equipment, yes.
I see. So there was the equipment in the house?
Yes.
I take it you used a table?
Yes.
Any other equipment?
No, just a massage table, and I would use my cups, which is for cupping.
I see. Okay. Thank you. How long did a typical treatment take?
Between a 90-minute to 2 hours.
And did you give Mr. Diggs a treatment on December 2nd, 2025?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember approximately when you arrived at his home for that treatment?
It was between 5:45 and 6 o'clock in the evening.
And how did you get into the house?
I rang the doorbell, and Sonny opened the door for me.
Okay, thank you. And what happened next?
Then I asked Sonny where he was or where he would like his massage at. She told me he was in his room, and that's where he would like his massage. So I went and grabbed the massage table. It was in like a computer room. And I brought her upstairs, and he was laying in his bed, and I started setting up the table.
All right. And was Mr. Diggs, do you remember what he was doing when you walked in, other than laying in his bed?
I think he was falling asleep a little bit, but I wasn't sure. It was just laying down.
Okay. So I take it you began the treatment?
So first I set up, I grabbed the blankets and stuff, and then he fell asleep. So I texted Sunny, and I was like, hey, can I wake him up? And she said yes, so I ended up waking him up, and then he got on the table.
Okay. And about how long was the treatment that day, if you can recall?
It was between 90 minutes to 2 hours usually. It was more towards the 2 hours than the 90 minutes.
All right. And did anyone come into that while you were performing that treatment in that 90-minute to 2 hour window?
Yes. Mila Adams came in the room at the time.
Okay. And how did you know Mila Adams?
I've seen her in the house. I've seen her multiple times in the house.
Okay. Have you ever spoken to her?
Yes, we've had conversation.
Okay. So while you're performing the treatment, can you just explain to the jury what you saw?
Yes, I was working on his right side leg, and because the door is in front of me, and I can see whoever was walking in. She was walking in. She saw that he was asleep, left, and kind of came back at a later time. When she came back at a later time, he kind of woke up because he was asleep, and she kind of went over to the bed, and she asked him, there was something on the bed. She asked him if he was going to keep it, and then he said yes, and then she turned around and left.
And were you able to see what was on the bed?
It was a black box, or what it was, or what was in it.
Okay. And did you ever have any occasion to look in that box?
No.
All right. How did Ms. Adams appear to you when you saw her come into the room those two times?
She seemed to be okay. It's nothing that I wasn't used to seeing in the past.
So she looked to your eyes the same as she had in the past? Saw her?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see any marks on her face?
Not that I recall, no.
Did you see any marks on her neck?
No, she had a black jacket on, so I don't think I could see her neck, but I didn't see anything on her face at the time.
And did she seem upset at all to you?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. All right. And Miss Anastasi, do you remember when you left the house that day?
It's probably between almost 8 o'clock, 7:30 and 8 o'clock that day.
Okay. Thank you very much. Number 4.
Good afternoon, Miss Anastasi. Oh, sorry, good morning still, actually, Miss Anastasi.
Hello.
Hello,
You said you had previously worked with the Celtics, and is it like kind of word of mouth that you got a job working for Mr. Diggs?
Yes.
In your line of work, how important is word of mouth in order to find new clients?
It's very important.
And outside of just actual, I guess, technique and skill, is discretion and care of how you, because you're working with some high-profile people, is that also an important aspect to have?
I don't understand the question.
I'll withdraw. Nothing further.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Maggie. Let's step down.
Picture this. You've got a big new website idea and your team is ready to go. Instead of taking months to build it,
Defense calls Melissa Goddard.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you state your name and spell your last name for the record, please?
Sure. Melissa Goddard, Goddard.
Thank you. And what city do you live in? City and state, please.
Boca Raton, Florida.
Right. And are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Where are you employed?
At PMG Private CFO.
And what is PMG Private CFO?
It's a boutique financial service company. So we do accounting, tax planning, tax prep, budgeting. We handle everything financial, data collection.
And is one of your company's clients Steph Diggs?
Yes, it is.
Right. And do you work on Mr. Diggs' account?
Yes, I'm his client manager.
All right. And how long have you been the client manager for Mr. Diggs' account?
Since November 13th, 2023.
Okay. And can you just briefly describe how Mr. Diggs' account is structured?
Sure. He has the personal side, which we call concierge, and the business side. So the personal side is his life personally, but because his person is a business, it transfers also over into businesses. And then he has several businesses that we operate.
Can you just very briefly identify the different businesses?
Sure. Diggs Deep LLC, which is for his name, image, and likeness. Liam Brands International, which is a clothing brand. CV Pazem, which is a furniture brand. And Diggs Deep Foundation, which is his charity organization.
And so those businesses that you just described, are those handled on the business side of his account?
Correct.
All right, and then there's a personal side or a concierge side to handle his business, to handle his personal expenses.
Correct.
Okay. And up until, starting before October 2025, so from 2023 to 2025 October, which side of his account did you handle?
I handled daily business transactions for the most part.
Okay. And did you have a different colleague to handle the personal kind of concierge side?
Yes, the practical everyday concierge side we did.
And would expenses for private staff be handled on the business side or the concierge side?
The concierge side.
Okay. And did something happen in the fall of 2025 that caused you to take over responsibility for the concierge side?
Yes, we had an associate leave.
Okay. So the associate left, and then were you responsible in the fall of 2025 for both the business and the concierge side?
Yes.
Okay. And did you have responsibility at that time for payments to Mr. Diggs's private chef?
In the beginning of November, yes.
Okay. Beginning of November 2025?
Correct.
And do you recall, well, what did you do when you took over responsibility for those payments?
I was notified at the beginning of November that the data collection program that we used was updated so that personal payments needed to be made. And one of them was for the chef, and I asked, catch me up. Does she have a contract? How do we pay her? Does she have a W-9? Does she have an NDA? Just general information, like, what do I do? And
Who are you talking to when you were getting this information?
Sunny,
And who is Sunny?
Stefan's personal assistant.
Okay. All right. Do you recall receiving an invoice from Ms. Adams on December 1st of 2025?
Yes.
And do you recall what that invoice was for?
It was for 3 weeks of services in November and reimbursable expenses.
Okay. What did you do with that invoice when you received it?
I checked, well, immediately I knew that it was incorrect because I had paid her weekly for 2 of those weeks. So it raised a flag. I needed to figure out, had I made a mistake or had she made a mistake? And that caused me to look a little bit further into the reimbursable expenses. We're much more structured on the business side, so I usually audit those before paying them.
Okay. So when the flag was raised and it caused you to look a little bit deeper, what did you do to look a little bit deeper?
I pulled up every payment that we had made to her for the last 18 months, as far back as I could go. And then I went through every receipt and reimbursable that we paid her for the last 6 months at that time.
Sorry. And at the conclusion, so would you describe that as a kind of an audit?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, if you receive an invoice and it's incorrect, I want to know, is it our mistake or was it her mistake? So I wanted to make sure that we had paid her correctly.
All right. And what did you learn from conducting your audit?
That she had submitted receipts multiple times over the course of 6 months, the same receipt. That she had submitted reimbursements for packages sent that were paid by our Federal Express account for reimbursement, that we had overpaid her.
And were you able to quantify the amount of money that she had been overpaid based on your audit?
Yes.
And how much money was that?
I think the total was $2,500 and change at that time, with an additional $744 that maybe was legitimate. I couldn't substantiate because there wasn't a date on it, so that was more in a gray area.
Okay. Did you ask Ms. Adams for more information about the money that she was seeking?
Yes.
How did you do that?
I contacted Sunny and asked for her email. I gave my phone number, even my personal phone number, so that she could reach me, because sometimes they're in different time zones. I reached out to her twice.
Okay, and did you ever hear back from her?
No, she never responded.
Did you tell Mr. Diggs what you had identified, at least from the audit that you conducted?
Yes, he called me. We spoke about it on December 5th.
All right, and what was his reaction?
He's like, give me a report. And he had wanted to make sure that she was paid. And I told him I would give him a report, and he was fine.
In the course of conducting your audit, or actually, strike that, did there come a time when you were aware that there was some paperwork not completed that you would have expected to be completed?
At the beginning when I took over, I asked for those things as, I think it was the beginning of December when the invoice didn't match what I had. I'm buttoning things up. It's the end of fourth quarter. We're closing out the end of the year, so I wanted to make sure we had everything. So, I was going through everybody's paperwork. But yes, it was about the beginning of December I realized we don't have her paperwork.
All right. And did you do anything about that?
Yeah, I had asked Sunny to, I had mentioned to Steph that I think we should get one. He said to coordinate with Sunny, which I did on December 4th. And I didn't receive anything, so I followed up with it as I normally would.
And how did you follow up with it?
I asked Sunny if she had collected it, and I emailed Mila asking for it.
Do you remember the date on which you emailed Mila for it? Sorry, Ms.
December
Adams.
8th.
December 8th. Did you follow up again with Ms. Adams, if you can recall?
I did not, because Steph said not to worry about it.
Okay.
Here's to beef, the one who brings the flavor. No recipe.
Just one moment, I'm sorry, hon. Ms. Goddard, you just testified that you followed up with Ms. Adams asking for the NDA on December 8th?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was incorrect. It was December 13th.
Okay, thank you. All right, no further questions.
Just briefly, good afternoon now. Miss Goddard, have you ever been to Mr. Diggs' house in Dedham?
No.
No further questions.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Well, that was quick. Damn, I'm only an hour in.
Tonight's call is Shy Charles.
You know what? Let me speed this up 1.5. I forgot I had this on regular speed.
Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please raise it.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name for the record and spell your first and your last name?
My name is Shy Charles. It's spelled Xiacharles.
What do you do for a living?
I own a hair salon and I braid hair, natural hair.
And where do you live?
I live in Brooklyn, New York.
You said you own a salon. Do you have an actual physical location?
Yeah, I do.
Is that down in the New York City area as well?
Yes, it's in Crown Heights.
How many clients do you have roughly?
Too many to count. I have a lot.
I got this thing on 2 times speed, and it still sounds a little
I started
slow.
doing his hair when he paid the Buffalo Bills.
Do you know how many years ago that was?
I'm not good with dates, but whenever he last paid the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. When you actually do Mr. Diggs' hair, how long does that process actually take?
I'd estimate probably about $3 to $5, anywhere between that. Yeah.
And where have you done Mr. Diggs' hair?
At his house, he travels a lot for work, so whenever he needs me to do his hair, I go.
Is that true of other clients you have as well?
Yeah.
Have you been inside Mr. Diggs' house in Dedham?
Yes, I have.
Right. Do you know when he lived there?
I don't know when he occupied the space, but I can tell you the truth, but like, the first time I went there to do his hair,
When was that?
it was when the season started with the Patriots, probably about September, that time last year.
So that'd be 2025? And other clients' house. Do they have previously?
Yeah, I have lots of celebrity clients, and obviously they want to come to the salon, so I go to them. So wherever they're at, I go meet them there, whether it's a hotel, their house, wherever.
All right, so it sounds like September or July, fall of last year, the first time you were at Mr. Diggs' home in Dedham, but not the first time previously.
Yeah, first time in Denver, but not like elsewhere at his house, wherever he lived before that, I would go.
And having done that, did you meet some of the people who were normally around?
Yes.
Do you know a person named Sunny?
Yes.
Who's that?
His assistant.
Did you meet any other family members, Mr. Diggs?
Oh yeah, everybody that's in the house, his brothers, his mom, everybody.
Okay. Did you ever meet a person named Mila Adams?
Yes, I have.
Who's that?
It was a chef at the time, but I met her.
And so when did you meet Mila Adams?
At the same time, I went to the house with her times, like around July, September, whenever the season started with the Patriots.
Last year?
Yeah.
Did you meet at the house?
Yeah.
And how much time were you at the house kind of the first time you met Miss Adams?
Probably like less than 24 hours or around that time because I know how to find it. So I just had to come do his hair. But that was late evening, and so I had to leave the following day. Yeah.
Okay. And so you met Miss Adams at that point, but did you speak to her?
I did because I had to go to Walgreens to get some products, and so I asked anybody in the house if they needed anything, and Mila said she needed a sponge, a makeup sponge, and so I got her a sponge. When I came back to the house, she asked me how much money it was, and I told her it was okay, and that's the first interaction we had.
Okay. Do you have any other further interaction with Miss Adams after that kind of initial 24-hour stay?
Yeah, when I came back to the house.
How was that?
I can't give you an exact date, but I guesstimate, so probably within 2 weeks, because he was here like every 2 to 3 weeks.
So about 2, maybe 3 weeks later?
Yeah.
You went back to the house and done it?
Yeah.
Was Miss Adams at the house and done it at that point?
Yeah.
So did you speak more to her when you went back the second time?
Yeah. So, can I go back? Because even after this, I don't
I'm sorry,
know.
I apologize, Mr. Charles, but did you speak to Miss Adams again that second time?
Yeah, we said, yeah, still going, yeah.
Right. How much time did you spend with her that second time?
More time, like a longer time, because we were talking about food, and she wanted to come to New York to start a restaurant, and I'm a business owner, and we connected on the fact that she was a business owner, and I have like a big social media following, and I told her that she needs to do content, and I wanted to help her with her content so she could start her business. So we connected on that.
Did you end up helping her with content?
Yeah.
Did you two stay in touch?
Yeah.
How long were you around at the house of Denim that second time?
I can't tell you how long, honestly. I would stay long if it had a game, I would go to the game together, but
Hardee's Prime Rib Experience with a 100% American Angus burger at a not-so-fancy price for my rewards members. Just $5.99 on the app. Every combo purchase on the app.
Or however, because most times she'd be like the only female there, and so will come and go, and so I just spend more time with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of following that time you spent together where you said you connected over being business owners, did you two remain in contact?
Yeah.
And how did you do that?
We'll text, we'll send Instagram reels, we'll FaceTime.
Did you guys exchange phone numbers?
Yeah.
How much did you talk, you think, in the following weeks and months that fall?
A lot, because a lot. We talk about business, we'll gossip, we girls, so yeah.
Did you ever spend more time together in person with Miss Adams?
Yeah, I took her back to my country. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, so I took her to Tobago. She spent time with my family, with my grandmother. Yeah, actually, both had tickets to go to Tobago, so yeah.
When was that?
This was probably around Thanksgiving time.
End of November then?
Yeah, whatever Thanksgiving was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Following that trip, do you remember where you went after that?
I came back to New York. We came back to New York, and she went to Boston.
Okay. Do you remember where you were on December 2nd?
Yeah, actually, I was in Target, like late evening.
What were you doing at Target?
I was shopping for ingredients because I was spending too much money on purse, so I was buying ingredients to cook, like groceries.
You buy groceries at Target?
Yeah.
What were you cooking?
So I wanted to make this like Cajun pasta with shrimp and like sausage. You know, I had it at the house. It's healthy. And so I wanted to cook that because I didn't want to buy it. I didn't want to spend money on weights, and I just wanted to be healthier and cook. And so I wanted to make it like her. So I was going through the aisles and like picking up stuff and calling Mila or messaging back. I texted her a picture and I asked if it was this one. But she wasn't responding because I was FaceTime her.
Alright, so let me break that down there for a minute. You're in Target, you're trying to purchase ingredients for a dinner that you had seen Mila cook?
Yeah.
You said at the house, the Denim house?
Yeah.
Right. Did you say you were looking for, what was the ingredient you were looking
Like
for?
shrimp, but so she makes matcha as well. So I was trying to find out like what matcha to get. That specific one from T. Mila's, shrimp, pasta, sausage, everything like that.
So you just said a moment ago that as you were trying to find ingredients, you started by taking a picture and sending it to Mila?
Yeah.
Do you remember what time that was at?
It was before 6 p.m. for sure because I remember she was some dry cleaning for my boyfriend because I had to get it before it closed. So I actually left Target and came back to Target. So it was before 6 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a specific time? Do you remember exact times?
So the dry cleaners was in Brownsville. Target was like 8. So I got there probably minutes to 6. So probably like ended at 4 or 5 p.m. somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned a text message or a photograph of an ingredient you sent?
Yeah.
Was there any record of that?
Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to her.
All right. Would that have had the actual time?
Yeah, I
on the
think
message?
yeah.
Do you think, take a look at a record, like refresh your recollection of what time you sent that photograph?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I just not thought about that. There might be a little bit too fast.
And I want you to put that.
Yeah.
You actually reviewed it. Take a look up. Had a look at that. Does that refresh your recollection of what time
Yeah.
you actually began communicating with Miss Adams when you were in the Target?
Yes.
And what time is that?
It says 4:38 on the picture.
Okay. Is that consistent with your recollection of when you reached out to Miss Adams?
Yeah.
Now you said you started by texting and then you FaceTimed with Miss Adams?
Yeah.
What's FaceTime?
A video call app on every iPhone.
Had you FaceTime with Miss Adams previously?
Yeah.
So describe how that looks. What's happening at that point? FaceTime.
So I FaceTime her and told her what I was doing. We spoke about pasta, all the ingredients I need to get, and she was like, girl, I'm not going to Miami. And she said she's going to go home to Atlanta for a couple of days. Then she's going to come to New York. Well, she's going to go home to Atlanta, but she's going to stop off in New York for a couple of days.
All right, let me actually stop you there. I apologize, Mr. Charles. It was a specific question. So you said you're in Target while this conversation is happening?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you see where Miss Adams was?
Yeah.
Where was she?
She's in the kitchen.
Kitchen of what?
Of the Denim house.
And how do you know that?
Because I've been there before, so I know the layout of the house. The faucet was running, and I could see the island in the background.
Okay. You just said she mentioned Miami. Did you notice anything about her face, her physical appearance when you had this FaceTime call? I'm sorry?
No.
Did you see any redness, swelling?
No.
Did she flush?
No.
Is she teary-eyed?
No.
Were there any bruises on her?
No.
You started to talk a little bit about places she said she was going.
Yeah.
Did you end up actually seeing Miss Adams that day?
Yeah, because
Following that conversation?
yeah,
All right.
she
Where
said
was that?
in New York. Because she said she was stopping off in New York for a couple of days. Asked her where she was gonna stay. She said at a hotel. I'm like, girl, we friends. You don't have to stay at a hotel. You can stay at my place.
All right. Did you actually see her that night? Did she stay at your place?
Yeah.
So where'd you first see her?
At the airport.
What airport?
LaGuardia.
What were you doing out there?
I went to pick her up.
What time did you pick her up from LaGuardia Airport?
She told me she was on at 11, so I got there like minutes to 11. I had to wait because I think her flight was delayed. Yeah, her flight was delayed. So I waited there for like 45 minutes.
So, did you end up seeing Miss Adams? Did she actually get in your car?
Yeah.
You picked her up from LaGuardia Airport? When she got in your car, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice anything about her appearance?
No.
Was there any bruising on her at that point?
No.
What were you doing when you picked Miss Adams up?
We went to go pick up my friend Tali in Queens, and we were just chilling in the car. We were just like singing and just talking.
Anything out of the ordinary about either Miss Adams or Miss, your friend Tali's demeanor?
No.
What's your friend Tali's name?
Her name's Natalia Moses.
Okay. Your car, what kind of car do you drive?
Mercedes-Benz GLE 63S.
Is there any kind of aftermarket systems that's equipped with?
It talks for itself.
Let me ask you this. Does your car have video?
Yeah, well, I installed dash cam in my car.
Oh, you put the dash cam in. That
Yeah.
didn't come with the car itself? Got it. What I'm going to ask is if we could pull up video 2, I believe, from what has been marked number 5. So this is actually the first video, it's number 5. Mr. Charles, looking at this, we played 14 seconds. Do you recognize what we're looking at?
Yes.
What is that?
That's me in my car. Dash cam video.
All right, and that video, does it fairly accurately represent the drive you guys had?
Yeah.
All right, there's a timestamp down here at the bottom, it says 11:48, 18 seconds p.m. Is that consistent with your recollection of kind of after you picked me up
Yeah.
from the airport?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your outfit isn't bad, it's just wrinkled. I swear this happens to me all the time. Something just feels off when I'm getting dressed. So instead of changing my whole outfit, just quickly go in with my Conair Turbo Extreme.
What I'm going to ask Ms. Silver to do is go to the next video down on that list. Looking at video number 2. It looks like the timestamp on the bottom says December 3rd, 24 minutes. Watching that video, what are we seeing in the video?
We were listening to Cranes in the Sky by Solange, and we were just talking about what the song was about.
Got it. And when you say there, we, who was we?
My friend Natalia Moses and Mila Adams in the car.
All right, so where we paused, it's a little hard to see, but did you testify that Ms. Moses was in the car?
Yeah.
Who's in the front seat there?
Mila Adams.
So was Ms. Moses in the back seat of your car?
Yes.
Okay. What did the three of you do that night?
We went to Jersey. I have a house in Jersey City, so we went to Jersey City.
And what did you do?
Drink, eat wings, and watch TV, just chill.
All right. Did you end up staying or sleeping in Jersey City, or did you sleep somewhere else?
No, I went back to my apartment in Brooklyn.
Who went back to your apartment in Brooklyn?
Me, Tali, and Mila.
And what time do you think you got back?
I'd estimate probably like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning.
Right, so early in the morning?
Yeah.
That entire time span that we're talking about, there's your description of what you just did, eat, drink,
Yeah.
have some wings and hang out. Is that a fair description of what you did that night?
Yeah.
All right. Where'd you sleep that night?
I slept on the couch downstairs, and Mila and Tali slept upstairs in my bedroom.
Okay. Do you remember how long Miss Adams ended up staying at your house?
Probably like a week, a little over a week.
All right. That night in Jersey City and back at your apartment in Brooklyn, did you have the opportunity to observe Miss Adams?
Probably the morning we got up. Yeah, because we girls, so we get dressed in front of each other, so yeah, the day of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say you get dressed in front of each other,
Yeah.
did you actually see Miss Adams without clothes on as you were getting dressed?
With a towel on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you observe any bruising, redness on her neck or chest?
No.
Did you observe anything on her face?
No.
I'm going to ask Ms. Silver if we can actually play the third video.
There we go.
So I'm going to pause it right there. Okay, so this image, is that a fair and accurate representation of how Miss Adams looked that day on December 3rd?
Yeah.
That video kind of depicts how she looked.
Yes.
So, anytime the day of December 3rd, did you notice bruising, developing, redness, any kind of physical marks on Miss Adams?
No.
On December 4th, 5th, 6th, did you notice any of that?
No.
Did Miss Adams ever tell you that she had been assaulted or strangled?
No.
Did she ever mention any kind of an attack?
No.
Do you remember when she left?
I can't give you the exact date, but probably like somewhere between the 9th, 10th, or 11th. Either one of those dates.
Okay. After Miss Adams left, well, actually, let me back up, strike that. So she got there on December 2nd, she left on the 9th, 10th, or 11th. It's fair to say she was down there for a week, maybe a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right. After she left, did you see her again?
Yeah, I saw her afterwards.
Soon afterwards? Where was that?
In Boston.
And in Boston, where were you?
Where was I in Boston?
Yeah.
At the house. In Dedham.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
I understand. So you saw her again at the house in Dedham?
Yeah.
And when was that?
Probably the 13th. Yeah, the 12th or the 13th, because I had to go do his hair.
Okay. Was there some sort of time-sensitive pressure about doing his hair?
Because he had to leave to go to Miami, so I had to go do his hair. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I had to do his hair. Probably had a game. He probably had a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me back you up. Miss Adams leaves New York.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And your testimony was that she said it was on the 13th? You saw her again?
Yeah, either 12, 13, 14, somewhere there. I'm not good with dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was
at the house in Dedham.
All right.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the house in Dedham?
I had to do his hair.
Who was in the house in Dedham?
His mom, Mila, me, I think my was there. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I can remember being in the house.
Okay. Did you do Mr. Diggs' hair
Yeah.
that day?
Yeah.
What time of day?
It was the evening.
In the evening then?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
How long did doing his hair take?
Between 3 and 5 hours.
And so, do you remember when you finished doing his hair roughly?
It was late that night. Yeah, like probably 10, 11, somewhere there.
What did you do after you finished doing Mr. Diggs' hair that night?
I slept on the couch because I had a flight 6 a.m. that morning.
6 a.m. the following morning or that morning?
So I did his hair tonight. I stayed downstairs on the couch. I was laying on the couch on my phone. I stayed down there because I had a flight early the next morning.
Got it.
Yeah.
When you were down on the couch, what happened?
Like later into the night, Mila came downstairs and she was just talking about stuff that happened earlier in the day.
All right, let me back you up there for a moment. Did you see anything unusual on the evening of December 13th? Doing Mr. Dix's hair?
Yeah, so I was behind the couch. He was on the couch with Stephanie. We were watching a Netflix comedy special, and we were just there kicking it. He was on his phone. Mila was in the back of us, like in a little dining area. She was on her phone, and she shouts over to him, "Yo, Stefan, I'm gonna get my money." And he responds, I think he spoke to the accountant, and her demeanor changed, his demeanor kind of changed. I wasn't paying any attention to it. I was just doing my job.
An entire season, all building to this one championship, all or nothing stakes.
His demeanor kind of changed. I wasn't paying any attention to it. I was just doing my job. So after a while, she moves from behind the dining table, and she comes to the front, like on the side, like a love seat area thing, and she was on her phone, and she was just like laughing really loud. I don't want to imply anything, but like,
let me stop you right there. You said she's over on her phone, she was laughing really loud?
Yeah.
Was she watching the comedy special?
No, she was just on her phone.
Okay. So, you said later that night or the next morning, you spoke to her again?
Yeah, like in the, probably midnight, 1 a.m.-ish. Yeah, she came downstairs and we were talking.
When she came downstairs, was there anybody else downstairs?
No, just me and her.
And what did she tell you when she came downstairs?
She asked me if she was annoyed.
She asked you?
Yeah, if he was annoyed.
And that's Mr. Dix?
Yeah.
Did she tell you she was going to do anything?
Yeah, she was trying to recognize him while she was on the couch, like trying to get me to skin. And she was... Okay.
So let me ask you this way. Did she indicate when she came downstairs that she was going to do anything? Did she tell you she was going to take any action?
Yeah, she said she was going to sue him.
For what?
For the money that he owes her. And, like, she's going to take it to the blog. She's going to...
Take it to the blog?
Blogs.
Got it.
Yeah. It was like an hour-long conversation, so it was a lot. Oh, sorry.
So, do you remember her saying that she's going to make him pay?
Yeah.
Do you remember her saying anything about the hostile work environment?
Yeah.
Let me have one moment, Your Honor. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
is Charles. Did Ms. Adams, prior to her coming down that night, 1 a.m., having this conversation with you, did she tell you that she'd been assaulted? Did you heard anything about strangulation and assault? That night, when she was talking about the suing Mr. Diggs, did she say that she had been assaulted? No. I want to back up down to kind of early in your testimony. You said you had a dash camera in your car. How long have you had that?
Probably a little after my birthday, which is September, so yeah. Probably end of September, beginning of October.
Okay, why do you have that?
Because people are scamming in your insurance fraud. Like they hit your car, they say you have a nice car, and they try to get money out of you.
In New York, you said?
Yeah.
I don't have any further questions.
Oh, you're important.
Good afternoon, Ms. Charles.
Afternoon.
So you've been doing Mr. Diggs' hair, you said every 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
For how long?
So I started doing his hair when he was at the Buffalo Bills, and then last year, like a little before the Met Gala last year, is when like I started doing it consistently.
Okay, so for more than 1 year you've been doing it, or?
Yeah.
And that's you said like a 3 to 5 hour appointment every 2 to 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
How much do you get paid when you do that?
It depends on the style I do. It could range from $600 to probably $1,500.
And you said that sometimes you go to the games afterwards?
Yeah.
How many times has that happened?
I went twice when I was in Denham, once in New York, and once at the Super Bowl.
And you also said that at least on one occasion you slept over his house. Did you sleep over his house often, or?
No.
When did you meet Miss Adams?
Probably August, September.
So at the time when she went to New York, you known her for 2 3 months, something like that?
Probably, yeah.
And you'd known him for over a year?
Yeah.
And you'd seen him every 2 to 3 weeks for 3 to 5 hours?
Yeah.
So is it fair to say you knew him better than you knew her?
No, because we have like a client service provider relationship, so I wouldn't say that's subjective.
When you're doing his hair, do you talk to him?
I keep it professional, so just how's the game, stuff like that, nothing in his personal life.
Hey, 1 moment. Copy, brother.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Jones. Thank you.
Just watch your step in for me a second.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Let me see your step.
Good afternoon, Ms. Moses.
Good afternoon.
Can you state your name and spell your last name for the record, please?
Sure, my name is Natalia Moses, Moses.
All right, and I'll just ask you to keep your voice up a little bit so that everyone in the court can hear.
Sure.
Do you also go by a nickname?
Yes, Tali.
Tali is your nickname?
Yes.
Where do you live?
I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I've just moved. I live in Florida. I go between Brooklyn and Florida as I have a business in Florida as well.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
I'm a hairstylist.
Do you work for any particular salon or on your own?
No, I have my own business.
Okay. Do you know Shy Charles?
I do.
How do you know Shy?
Shy and I met in 2018. I started off being her assistant, her brand assistant.
Okay. Do you still work with Shy?
No.
Oh. What about Stefan Diggs? Do you know Stefan Diggs?
No, not personally.
Have you ever met Stefan Diggs?
No.
Is Stefan Diggs a client of yours?
No.
Okay. Do you know Mila Adams?
I do.
How do you know Mila?
I know Mila through Shy.
Okay. When is the first? Have you ever met Ms. Adams?
I have.
When is the first time you met her?
I want to say December 2nd into December 3rd. Around that time, that was the first time I met her in person, but I would have spoken to her on the phone on multiple occasions before.
Okay. And did you talk to her?
I gotta post something, Rocco.
Before.
Okay. And did you talk to her, just the two of you, before December 2nd?
No, not just the two of us. We would always speak on with Shy in the middle, so it would always be on Shy's phone. So I never spoke to her one-on-one prior to December 2nd.
I see. Okay. So, Shy and Ms. Adams had a relationship.
That's correct.
And then sometime, and you and Shy have a relationship.
That's correct.
And sometimes the three of you would talk.
That's correct.
Understood. And were these calls professional calls, business calls, personal calls?
Personal calls.
Okay. All right. So what were the circumstances under which you met Ms. Adams on December 2nd?
So she said she was passing through to New York, and Shy told her, well, she could stay at her house. I just came from Atlanta because I had a job in Atlanta, and Shy told me that she would pick me up as we were coming in from the same airport. I, however, came in before Miss Adams, so I went to my family's house, and Shy picked me up from there with Miss Adams in the car.
Okay, and where was your family's house? All right. And that was the first time you met Ms. Adams?
In person, yes.
In person, okay. Now, I take it you had been in Shy's car before?
That's correct.
All right, and can you describe her car, the outside of it?
It's a white BMW, I'm sorry.
Okay. And can you just describe the inside of her car?
She has a red interior.
All right. Does she have any recording devices in her car?
Yeah, she has a dash cam in her car.
All right, and can you describe what that dash cam looks like?
It's a rectangular shape. She has it on the top of the windshield.
Okay, so you can see it when you're sitting in her car?
That's correct.
All right, and did you know that that dash cam was in there?
I did.
All right. Did you know that on December 2nd?
Yes, I did.
And you could see it when you were sitting in the car on December 2nd?
Yes, I did.
All right. After Shy and Ms. Adams picked you up in, I think you said Queens?
Yes.
What did you do after that?
We went to New Jersey.
And what did you do in New Jersey?
We were just chilling at the house. We bought food, you know, girl time. We were just hanging around watching music videos and stuff like that.
And during that time, strange question, were the lights on?
It was.
Okay. When you were with Shy and Miss Adams at the house in New Jersey, did you notice any marks or bruises or redness on Miss Adams' face?
I did not.
Could you see her neck at that time?
Yes.
Did you notice any marks or redness or bruises on her neck?
No, I did not.
Did she complain at any point about soreness or stiffness? You testified. Did you see her eat?
I did.
Did she drink?
I did.
Did she seem to have difficulty swallowing?
She did not.
Did she complain about difficulty swallowing?
No, she did not.
Or sore throat at all?
No.
Did her voice sound hoarse?
No.
Did her voice sound any different than it had sounded when you previously spoke with her?
No.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary in her appearance or her behavior on December 2nd?
I did not.
Okay. How long did you end up spending time with Miss Adams in New York City?
Approximately a week.
Okay. Did you spend that whole week? And I'm sorry, I should have asked this question. Did you stay in that house in New Jersey on December 2nd?
No, we went to Shy's house in Brooklyn.
Okay. And did you end up staying there that night?
We did.
Did you stay there also on the night of December 3rd?
I did.
And did you stay there all the way up until December 9th?
I did.
Okay. And did Miss Adams stay there as well?
She did.
Where did you sleep in the Brooklyn house?
We all slept in Shy's room.
Okay. By all you mean you, Miss Adams, and Shy?
And Shy. Sometimes I would go to her boyfriend's house, so sometimes it would just be Miss Adams and myself.
Okay. I take it you at some point woke up on December 3rd.
Yes.
And what was Ms. Adams' behavior like on December 3rd?
She was fine. She was bubbly.
Okay.
Yeah. But the personality, she didn't show any signs of anything wrong.
Okay. Did she cook for you?
She made breakfast.
Okay. And same question on December 3rd. Did you spend December 3rd with her?
I did.
Did you see any bruises, redness, marks on her face at that time?
No.
Were you able to see her neck on that day?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to see her chest on that day?
Yes, we all stayed in the same room, so we got dressed and everything together.
Okay, understood. And did you see any marks or bruising or redness on any of those areas? Okay. Did you see any such marks or bruises or redness, anything like that, the entire week you spent together?
No.
Okay. Did there come a time when Ms. Adams asked you to take a look at her hair?
Yes.
Can you? What was that? How did that come about?
So I was supposed to do her hair. So as I would analyze her hair, I would lift it up just to see if, the style that we was going to do. I was trying to decide on the style that we was going to do. So I did have close-up view to her neck and her hair.
Okay. And in the course of lifting her hair and looking at her neck, did you see anything? No. Okay. Do you remember taking a couple of videos of Ms. Adams while you were together in New York?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember approximately when that was?
Possibly December 7th or 8th, around that time.
Okay. And I will ask Mr. Kettlewell to very smoothly play Exhibit 8, please. Okay, we can pause that. Ms. Moses, is this one of the videos that you took of Ms. Adams?
Yes, it is.
All right, and can you just describe where you are?
We were in Shy's room there, and we were just goofing around, listening to music and dancing and stuff.
Okay. And then if you could just complete that video, please. All right, and then Mr. Kelly, play Exhibit 9, please. And can you just pause for a second? Thank you. Is this the other video that you took of Ms. Adams?
Yes, it is.
And that was on that trip in...
They got this fool a days removed of her allegedly, supposedly choked out by Stefan Diggs, and she's sitting here doing the run man. Man, did this goofy ass chick don't get the hell on out of here?
Yes, it is between December 2nd and December 9th. Yes. Okay. Was this close in time to the first video?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kettlewell, you can... And was that video that you took, was that consistent of how Miss Adams was being with you?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone ask you to take that video?
No.
But Miss Adams knew you were filming her.
She did.
Okay. And the entire time that you were with Miss Adams in New York City, did she mention anything about being hit?
She did not.
Did she mention anything about being choked?
No, she did not.
Did she say or do anything that suggested to you that...
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2026?
Well executed there. Watch the Major League Volleyball semifinals Thursday at 7. Saturday at 3. It's on. Ion.
Come on. Sometime today.
Diggs had hurt her or scared her in any way?
She did not.
Okay. I have no further questions. Call.
Just briefly, that New York trip, was that the first time you'd ever met Miss Adams in person?
That's correct.
You said you didn't see any bruises on her. Were you looking for bruises on her?
No, but she was in my face.
Nothing further.
Thank you, ma'am. Please step down.
Thank you.
That's rest.
All right, so that's rest.
All right, jurors, so the defense has rested. There's no further evidence in this case, so that is closed. So that means that, as I predicted for you, what remains will be the closing statements of the attorneys, and then I will give you the instructions for you on the law. What we're going to do is we're going to suspend the lunch recess, and we will resume at 2 with all of them. Okay? So there should be, your lunch order should be ready, hopefully, and we'll see you back here in a little over an hour. Thank you.
All right, jurors can step down, please.
All right, jurors, good afternoon again. As I told you, the evidence in this case is closed, and you're about to hear the closing statements of the attorneys. And what I want to say to you about that is that this is an important part of the trial because it is the final opportunity given to the lawyers to address you. It's an opportunity for the attorneys to summarize the evidence, to call your attention to certain parts of the evidence that they regard as important, and based on the evidence, to try to persuade you to reach a certain result. However, what you are about to hear is not evidence. Lawyers are not witnesses. All the evidence in this case has been presented through the testimony of the witnesses and the exhibits, which you will have an opportunity to examine and consider during your deliberations. Our rules are designed to ensure that the parties receive a fair trial, and they therefore prohibit the attorneys from making certain types of arguments in an effort to persuade you to reach a certain result, or to favor or disfavor either side. For example, the attorneys are not permitted to refer to facts that are not in evidence in this case. If based on your memory and understanding of the evidence, the lawyer does this, you should disregard that comment. The attorneys are not permitted to express their personal belief in the credibility or lack of credibility of any witness who testifies in this case. That determination is entirely for you to make. If a lawyer makes such a comment, you should disregard that comment. Attorneys are not permitted to persuade you for or against either party by appealing to human passions or prejudices. If you become conscious of any passion or prejudice as you consider the evidence or engage in your deliberations, you must put those feelings aside and not let them influence your thinking. If a lawyer makes such a comment, you must disregard that comment.
Bless you. Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. As I said to you in my opening statement, there was no assault, no strangulation, no incident at all on that day or any other day. You didn't see any injuries. You didn't see any photographs. You learned no medical records. No statements. No nothing between December 2nd and December 16th. You have not been provided with a single shred of credible evidence to determine that any assault actually occurred in the house on that day. The Commonwealth's case is nothing more than the words of Miss Adams. In my opening statement, I told you one tool to use as you go through this process is to consider how to find the truth. That the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts, that answer is the truth. So what I want to do is take you through some of the undisputed facts in this case. Ms. Adams spent the afternoon talking on the phone. She got a ticket to Atlanta. She cooked Stefan Diggs dinner. We learned this morning that it was a hot dog. She went into Mr. Diggs' bedroom to provide him birthday presents and to deliver those birthday presents. Timeline-wise, all of this, every single fact that I just mentioned, all of those would have occurred after what Miss Adams says was a violent assault that occurred sometime that afternoon.
Here's to beef, the one that brings the flavor. No rest.
That night, Miss Adams left the house at 7:15, and she flew to New York City. You heard that she told the police that she stayed with friends. You heard her describe whose friends they were. But you also heard her say that she had a ticket to Atlanta, purchased before she ever changed it to go to New York City. You saw videos of Miss Adams when she arrived in New York. You heard from the woman who picked her up from the airport, who also saw Miss Adams when she arrived in New York. You saw video and heard from Polly Moses, who spent the entire week with Miss Adams in New York. And you got to see how she looked. You got to see her face, you got to see her neck, you got to see the way she moved during the course of that week. One thing I'll say about that, Miss Adams, she might define bruising, however, is expedient or convenient for her, but we all know what bruising looks like. You saw the videos, and you heard from the witnesses. On December 5th, Ms. Adams texted Stefan Diggs, "Hi, can you please approve my pay with finance, please and thank you." That would have been 2.5 days after he violently strangled her in her bedroom. December 6th, you saw the video of her dancing. That's 3.5 days after this assault allegedly occurred. You heard that throughout the course of that week, from December 2nd to December 9th, Ms. Adams didn't mention a single thing about any assault to anyone. The one thing you heard her mention was on the afternoon of December 2nd, she told Shai she wasn't going to Miami. You heard that on December 9th, she went back to the house. And I told you the details were going to be important about her going back to the house in my opening statement. She got back to the house at 11:30 p.m. alone and walked into the house. But what did she do? She didn't just go to Stefan Diggs' bedroom door and knock on it. She tried to punch in the code, and it didn't work. And those are her words. That's what she told you. None of that is consistent with a violent assault having occurred the last time they interacted with one another. Not one piece of that. And those are undisputed facts. On December 11th, Ms. Adams texted Mr. Diggs her apology. She said she was sorry she was being emo, and she didn't want him to feel that way. She didn't want him to think she was trying to quit her job. She told him she was trying to keep her job. She was trying to get back. She also told the police 5 days later, that she had quit her job on December 2nd. We know that that was a lie. Not just from the fact that she actually told you that that was a lie, but from actual evidence that you have in this case that is undisputed. That evidence goes on. She told Mr. Diggs' girlfriend that she didn't say any of that to the police. Meaning what she told the police, that she didn't accuse Mr. Diggs of assault. And that wasn't true. She also, a month later, told the world that she had never demanded money. And that also wasn't true. Now, more undisputed facts. Miss Adams was paid for November. At first she didn't admit that. She ended up saying they worked it out. She got paid for 2-3 weeks. And we actually got an answer today on why she wasn't paid for a full month. Because she was in Tobago with Shai Charles. You heard from Melissa Goddard. Miss Adams was paid up. The non-disclosure agreement. Miss Goddard taught you about that. And you heard about that from Miss Adams. I want you to look at the text message in Exhibit 4. It's on page 195. We talked about it a little bit yesterday afternoon. But this is another undisputed fact, and it's very important. Because, despite what Ms. Adams told the police on December 16th, and told you at times yesterday, on December 13th, 2025, Ms. Adams says what she thinks the NDA is about. And she says, "You're sitting here playing in my face. 700 comments. If I told someone why it's not in the blog, you believe it, meaning Mr. Diggs, and now sign an NDA. Send me my money. You're sitting here playing in my face." Ms. Adams wants you to believe she wouldn't tell Shy Charles knew Mr. Diggs. That requires you to completely ignore the fact that she chose freely and willingly to go to New York to stay with Shy Charles. December 13th, she told Mr. Diggs, she told Stefan Diggs what she thought.
Let's get this, put this on 2 times speed.
You think it might make a little sense if the NDA was about any kind of a physical assault, a strangulation? That she might say to him anything. Hey, you know what this NDA is really about. Or maybe just, the NDA, because you assaulted me? Not a word. She describes why that's there. And those are her words from December 13th. And that is undisputed. Now let's talk about the police for a few moments.
No. Is this the episode with the breakup? Rebo, we can't agree on the house. Y'all need Realtor.com. With over 500,000 new listings every month, you can find the one today. This could be it. Better put a key ring.
Now let's talk about the police for a few moments. Because Ms. Adams went to the police, as you heard, on December 16th. And there's other undisputed facts in this report. She lied to the police. She did not leave her job. Ms. Adams told you something yesterday where she said, well, left my position was like in the house, but that wasn't my job. And you heard what Officer Ellis said this morning. I said, you mean her position? Is it her job? He said, of course. She told Officer Ellis that she just went back to get her stuff. And you know that isn't true. At times, she seemed to admit that that wasn't true. And you know, from her own words at the time, to both Mr. Diggs and to Sonny, that that wasn't true. The text message that you heard about the deletion. There's two things that I want you to pay close attention to, and I want to talk to you about in both Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2. Exhibit 1, the text message that she sent, purporting to be a screenshot of the argument that led to a violent assault that ended with Mr. Diggs choking her. That's what she told Officer Ellis, and you heard that from him this morning. You also heard from her that she deleted messages, and I think what she said was something like, I didn't want to look at it, or something along those lines. And if you look at what was actually deleted, the words she said, she was saying, bet and pussy, or what she deleted. That's what she did. She did delete those messages, right? Those are not in the text messages that she provided to the police. But more importantly, what she actually deleted, it wasn't about making her look bad or not. It was right after the words, I'm out of your life. It said, ruining that bitch life. And then you can actually go to Exhibit 2 and look. There's a picture she says. And why that's important is because, as you heard from Officer Ellis this morning, it'd be important to know somebody deleted messages. It'd be important to see the full picture. And that message right there, and ruining that bitch life, apologies for the language, with the fairy emoji, you think that might have prompted the question, hey, who's that bitch? She answered the question for you yesterday. It was Lindsay. The argument wasn't about money. You have it in evidence. And Ms. Adams later admitted that. These lies to the police, the fact that they're undisputed, why? Look at all of those facts. They're undisputed in the record. They're all there. If you remove from those facts one thing, that an assault occurred, they all make sense. If you plug in that she was assaulted that afternoon before all of this happened, before everything I just read to you, none of it makes sense. Why would a person who was just strangled go down to the kitchen, chat on the phone, and not have a single mark on their face or look even remotely bothered? Why would that same person cook dinner for the man who just did it? Why would that same person knock on his bedroom door and deliver 2 birthday presents? Why would she act the way she did for the next week? And then why lie about it repeatedly to the police? And what ended up happening next is chronologically keeps waiting. Because what you heard is that her mediator made a demand for money. And if you plug that fact in, now it all makes perfect sense. We have provided evidence to you. We have presented evidence. We have called witnesses. As I said, we're doing so in order to give you the fullest picture of December 2nd and of what happened or did not happen. And think about that for one moment. How do you prove the negative? It's basically impossible, right? Pick a day, 2 months ago, account for every action that you did on that day. Every moment of your day, great? Now prove it. Can be done. And this trap, the framers of our system, they were aware of it. That's why it works the way that it does. The burden is on the Commonwealth to prove their case. And their case, as you have seen, is the internally inconsistent testimony of one witness. And that is their entire case. And that is not enough to meet their burden. The burden we're going to hear is reasonable doubt. And the judge is going to tell you that that's to a moral certainty. How much would you bet on the words of Jamel Adams? To bet your own life, someone else's? You have all of the tools in what I just laid out for you to make a credibility assessment. But it is not only that, because the other thing the judge is going to tell you is you can actually take into account the way the witness answered questions, behaved, their demeanor, how they looked. Did they sound consistent? Did the things they say actually at least stay true internally in their own story? And one example I'll give you on that is this morning, when Ms. Adams was asked about another monetary demand. She didn't answer the question. She couldn't. She gave you multiple excuses. She tried to say attorney-client privilege, and when there was no response to that, she said, I can't answer that correctly. Take the way she answered questions into account, but line it up against the facts that you know that you have, because that's how you got to make a decision, on facts, on evidence. In terms of the evidence the Commonwealth has actually presented to you, what they have presented to you are the claims of one person. Their second witness undermined their first. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason they had absolutely nothing to corroborate this allegation, which, one thing I will say about the assault and battery, she described Mr. Diggs slapping her on the right side of her face with his right hand. She actually demonstrated it for you. But the problem is it's a physical impossibility. And the reason I would suggest to you that that demonstration didn't go quite well is because sometimes people miss their mark. Sometimes actors forget the script. What you do not have before you is anything that you can base a firm decision on, unless that decision is that the Commonwealth has not proved its case. The Commonwealth has an opportunity to speak to you.
Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal, proudly serving the Greenville area.
Stop Googling how to start investing. Download Acorns instead. Just make an account, link your debit or credit card, set recurring investments once, and see your futures potential. See yours when you download the Acorns app.
As you like to. And you heard the Commonwealth question some witnesses about working for Mr. Diggs. There's a number of people who were called as witnesses. We tried to be as quick as possible. It's not terribly exciting to hear a witness talk about how they heard and saw nothing. But for a moment, stop and think and ask yourself, if you were accused of having something happen at your house on some random day 3 weeks ago, who would be there with you? The people closest to you. It'd be your family. The people who are in your house all the time. For Mr. Diggs, we talked about that. That's Steph. That's Miss Salas. That's all the people that you heard from. One thing that I want to talk about is a reason for bias. Because when Mr. Virtue asked, I think the first witness she was Miss Salas.
Skip this on a little bit.
To testify, since the entire burden of proof is not evidence. A question put to a witness is never evidence. Only the answers are evidence. Also, you may not consider any answer that I struck from the record and told you to disregard. Do not consider such answers. Anything that you may have seen or heard when the court was not in session is not evidence. The opening statements and the closing arguments of the lawyers are not evidence. They are only intended to assist you in understanding the evidence and the contentions of the parties. If your memory of the testimony differs from the attorney's, you are to follow your own recollection. You should not consider anything I have said or done during the trial as any indication of my opinion as to what your verdicts should be. In evaluating a witness's testimony, you have to decide what testimony to believe and how much weight to give that testimony. You should give the testimony of a witness whatever degree of belief and importance that you judge it is fairly entitled to receive. You are the sole judges of the credibility of a witness. You may believe everything a witness says, part of it or none of it. If there are any inconsistencies in the testimony, you should examine them carefully. You may consider whether a witness was candid or guarded, responsive or evasive, and whether the testimony is reasonable or unreasonable, probable or improbable. You may take into account how good an opportunity a witness has to observe the facts about which the witness testifies and whether the testimony seems accurate. You may also consider evidence, if any, about a witness's motive for testifying, whether a witness displays any bias in testifying, and whether or not a witness has any interest in the outcome of the case. In deciding whether to believe a witness and how much importance to give a witness's testimony, you must look at all the evidence, drawing on your own common sense, life experience, and good judgment. Consider the evidence as a whole. Do not make up your mind about what the verdict should be until after you have gone to the jury room to decide the case and you and your fellow jurors have discussed the evidence. Keep an open mind until then. Once you have determined the facts, apply the law as I explained it to you to the facts in order to decide the verdicts. Now, there are two types of evidence which you may use to determine the facts of the case: direct evidence and circumstantial evidence. You have direct evidence where a witness testifies directly about the fact that is to be proved based on what he claims to have seen or heard or felt with their own senses, and the only question is whether you believe the witness. You have circumstantial evidence where the witness cannot testify directly about the fact that is to be proved, but you are presented with evidence of other facts, and you are then asked to draw reasonable inferences from them about the fact which is to be proved. Let me give you an example. Your daughter might tell you one morning she sees the mail carrier in your mailbox. That's direct evidence that the mail carrier has been to your mailbox. On the other hand, she might tell you only that she sees mail in the mailbox. That's circumstantial evidence that the mail carrier has been there. No one's seen the mail carrier, but you can reasonably infer that the mail carrier has been there since there is mail in the box. The law allows either type of proof in a criminal trial. There are two things to keep in mind about circumstantial evidence. The first one is that you may draw inferences and conclusions only from that.
Let me speed this up.
The second rule is that it All right, jurors, when we impanel a jury at the beginning of a trial, we never know whether some personal emergency will arise during the course of the trial, which will require one of our jurors to be excused from further jury duty. So, in order to avoid having to start the trial over again, should that occur, we impanel 7 jurors, even though the case will only be decided by 6 of them. So the time has now come to reduce your number to that 6. And I am going to ask Mr. Clerk to draw one of your cards at random, and that juror will be designated as our alternate juror and will not be part of the deliberations unless necessary to provide a substitute for one of the other jurors. So if fate makes you the alternate juror, please don't take it personally. Your service up to this point, your willingness to serve is appreciated by all of the parties, and we will make sure that you are kept as comfortable as possible in an area isolated from the deliberating jurors.
Introducing new Ben & Jerry's ice cream bars. Put a stick in it.
That would be juror number 1 and seat number 1.
Stay right there. You will serve as our alternate, but as I said, we'll make sure you're kept comfortably in a different location. If you would be good enough, Mr. Clerk, to draw another card at random, this particular juror will be the 4th person of this juror.
That is juror number 25 in seat 4.
All right, so you will be the 4th person of our jury. All right? What that means, oh, Mr. Clerk, thank you, is you gave it to me right here. The juror has designated as the 4th person, has the responsibility of recording the jury's verdict on the verdict slip. Once that has been recorded, you sign it, date it, and inform the court officer that the jury has reached a verdict, and you will be brought back into court. Now, if during your deliberations the jury has any question, the 4th person should write out the question on a piece of paper, sign it, date it, hold it up, let the court officer know. They will bring the question to me, and we'll proceed. Now, you're not to make any use.
You know what? I hate that they dragged this out longer than what it was. Bottom bottom line is Stefan Diggs was found not guilty. Then I thank y'all for being here. I hope to see y'all again soon. Peace.